Hey guys, Ben here, Honeydew Homestead. I don't have any big video planned today, so I'm really just coming out here, taking little bites out of this elephant out here. I'm sure I've mentioned it in the past that the woods on this property are incredibly dense, and you have deep tap roots, big stumped trees that then grew a bunch of little scrubby trees. There's probably zero timber value out here at the moment, but I do need to clear a little area that I would like to have for possibly the gardens, compost, chickens, that kind of stuff. I want to have that area good and cleared. I don't know when we decide to build. By the way, you can see the truck maybe in the very corner right there. Up there is where the driveway ends. That's where the house and the workshop and that kind of stuff are going to be. And so we're kind of in the backyard right now. And I'm trying to get a little area where I can have the gardens, but we can still have a little bit of space between the garden area and some green space, some gardens, room for outdoor grill or anything that we want, outdoor patio space, you know, entertaining space, that kind of stuff. So I want to reserve some room for that. I'm going to get to work today. I'm just going to keep knocking some trees down, just keep working at it. On that note, I'm going to go get the measuring tape, make sure I'm not going too far, but I'm guessing I'm only about 20 or maybe 30 feet deep. And then I think I'm going to start cutting wide now so that we can see if that's enough space. But keep in mind, I think I'm going to have to cut a little bit deeper because the trees are going to be tall and they're going to be casting a shade. So I want to make sure I push the tree line back far enough that they won't be shading the garden space. Anyways, enough chit-chatting. Okay, about 45 feet. I think that's a good stopping point. And we'll cut over, see what it looks like. One tree down. I think what I'm gonna do next, I have this pile. Let me see if I can show it to you. I have this pile over here, a much smaller pile. Well, it's smaller now because, you know, it's been sitting there for quite a while. I don't even remember exactly when I started making that pile, but it's probably been at least 9 months, maybe a year. It was the same case with this one here, but I've obviously been adding to it now, and you can see now the thing's like 10 feet tall. So I think I'm done adding to this pile. I'm gonna go ahead and start adding to this other pile, just because I don't want these piles to get too big. I don't have some giant, you know, 600 horsepower excavator out here that I can just clean this stuff up with. And I certainly don't want it to get out of control, because there's no water out here. Not enough to control a fire if that thing gets, you know, out of hand. So I want to make sure I clear enough all the way around these piles that they're not going to spread, and they're not going to, you know, light the neighboring trees on fire or even kill the trees, and then they'll end up falling down later. So I'm doing my best to make sure I keep these piles to something that I can manage, and I'm already getting a little worried about this one. Look what I found. Yep, that's right. It's almost deer spectator season. But in the meantime, I have made a mess.